Okay, welcome to the second video on equations day 2. This is lesson 1.3 and this is going to be 1.3 video B because we're going to just talk about those 3 problems that we skipped before. Remember the main things in this, whatever you do to one side you have to do the other, and you want to get all your variables on one side of the equal sign and all the numbers or the constants on the other side. So let's go ahead and get started on number 3. All right. Let's see, I have to pick. I'm going to pick my W's on the left side. I'm going to put my numbers on the right side. That means that this 8W is on the wrong side, or this 5 is on the wrong side. So our first step is either to add the 5 or to subtract the 8W. Some people, when they subtract that 8W, they kind of freak out. They don't know what to do. So I'm going to do that so that we can figure out if you do that accidentally, what you should do instead. So I'm going to subtract that 8W because that's what I've been doing first. On all the other ones, I subtracted the negative or subtracted the variable first, and then I did the number. Okay, so I subtract my 8W. I get a negative 2W minus 5 is equal to what? Well, it's dropped off. What do I write if it's dropped off? You write a 0. Okay, if it drops off, you just write a 0. So my first step here was to subtract, or I'm going to say move the variable, the W, and my second step is going to be move the number, in this case the 5. So I need to add 5 to both sides. So now I have a negative 2W, and that's a plus sign, is equal to 5. So my third step is to divide by negative 2. So I need to divide this by negative 2, I need to divide this by negative 2. I tried to scrunch up my writing and I didn't do a very good job, so let me move it up a little bit. All right, that might be as far as I can go. Yeah, that's as far as I can get it. Okay, so when I divide that, negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1, so that's just a W. And on this side, once again, you can put your negative any one of the 3 places. You can put it up on the top, you can put it out on the bottom, or you can put it outside. I like it outside. I don't know why, that's where I like to put it. But you can put it anywhere. And then that's your answer. Please do not give it as an improper fraction, or excuse me, leave it as an improper fraction. Don't give it as a mixed number. Don't give it a decimal. We're done. Okay, number 5. Pretty straightforward because we have a K on both sides. We have a number on both sides. We have 4 choices. We can move any one of those 4. I personally like to keep my variables on the left and my numbers on the right. I also personally like to move my variables first. So that means here I'm going to subtract my 9K. If you need to use a calculator, you can. Negative 7 minus 9 is negative 16K. And then we bring down our plus 10. We bring down our equal sign. We bring down our 18. Step 2 is to move the number. Okay, we have the 10. 10's on the wrong side. Numbers are supposed to be on the right. So I'm going to subtract that 10 from both sides. So I subtract this, I get 18 minus 10 is 8. Now I need to get rid of my negative 16, so I'm going to divide by negative 16. And when I do that, I do want to simplify it. So let me write that down. Number 3 was to divide. Number 4 is to simplify. You do want to simplify your fractions as much as possible. Leave it as an improper if it's improper, but do simplify it. This one, actually, when you simplify it, it's not improper, it's fine, and most people are okay with this fraction. It's a negative 1/2. And once again, that negative can go on the top, it can go on the bottom, or it can go in the front. Okay, last problem for this video is we take the distribution. Can you see that? We've got distribution going on. So our first step is always going to be to distribute. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have a negative 5x. We have a negative, you can either call it plus negative or you can call it minus. I might just call it minus. I've been doing plus negative just so you can kind of see that, but sometimes we just call it minus 35. And then on the other side, we have a 9x minus 3. Okay, now we're ready to choose sides. I like my x's on the left, my numbers on the right, so I'm going to do that. I like to move my x's first, although you really could move any one of those 4. Does not matter which one you start with. Move any one of them. So I'm going to start with my x's. Move the x term. So that means subtract 9x, move it over there. Negative 5 minus 9 is negative 14. And on the right hand side, we have those drop off. 9 minus 9 is 0. And a minus 3 or a negative 3. Okay, our steps, you move the x first, you move the number after that. So we're going to move that 35 to the other side. So now we have a negative 14x equals 32. We're going to divide, and we're going to have, it does not go in evenly. So we're going to divide by negative 14. And I really have run out of room this time. So I'm going to get x is equal to, okay, once again, when you divide, depending on what kind of calculator you have, if you have a TI 30SX or whatever, you can do that on your calculator and it will give you the reduced fraction. I don't have one of those in front of me. I have one at school, but I'm at home right now, so I don't have one. So when I divide, I'm going to have to simplify this. I'm going to try putting 2, taking it down by 2. So 32 divided by 2 is 16. 14 divided by 2 is 7, and there is a negative. And that's as far as that can go. And that is the final answer. So we're just going to leave it as 16 over negative 7, or you can call it negative 16 over 7, or 16 over 7 with a negative outside. Okay, that is all of the examples for this lesson. This was a little bit more complex than the previous day, so hopefully we're getting the hang of this. We will go over this next time I see you in class.